As we move into our next segment, we're going to talk about building in the homes. And there's really nobody better to bring up on this. Chele and I have worked together since 1998, I believe. She's a supervising coordinator, which is earns in excess of $7,500 in a 4-week pay cycle. And I'll let her tell her story about it, but she is just tearing this business up right now. In fact, the fastest growth I've ever seen with her in nationals, probably a second away, and executive probably right after that with what's going on in her organization. But how about a great warm welcome for Chele Bowen?
You know why I have cool jeans on? Because Jim wears cool jeans in a lot of his pictures. And I'm like, if Jim can wear cool jeans, I can wear cool jeans. So, do I need the clicker? Probably click a couple of these things. All right, guys. So, home events. I think the reason that Jim really wanted me to represent this area is not just because we're doing so much with it right now, because I think a lot of people are catching on to this. I think it's that I've been with the company for so long that I've been around enough to make a lot of mistakes, really take the time to measure, monitor, adjust, and control what we're doing. And we have come full swing right back to where we started. And that's the best part. So many of you know, Tony and I grew very quickly in the beginning. 4.5 years, we hit supervising coordinator, and then we stayed there. So cannot wait for that next financial level. But the thing is, I think we got very comfortable, and I think we started to just sort of give into emotions more than we continued to do the mechanics of it. So we had to just rethink, what did we do when we were new that was working, and what have we changed? A big part of it was we used to be in the homes a lot. And you know, guys, I think a lot of you experience this. You're working in the homes, but sometimes you'll show up for an event and no guests come. So you think, oh, we did all this for nothing. Or 1 or 2 people come, and you think,
we can see you within 2 feet of the screen.
I'm getting texts from your fans saying, can Chele get closer
my
to the screen?
fans.
Yeah. So if you could just get a little closer. My phone's blowing up right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, my jeans were mentioned. So everybody's like, tell him we want to see those jeans. Too funny. Okay, so a big part of it is, I think you start to lose your momentum, you start to lose the excitement, enthusiasm for doing home events, because you start to question if it was worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. Same thing with workshops. Same thing with accountability groups. You think because you got only 1 or 2 people there, is it really worth it? It has to start somewhere. And you just have to be consistent enough that people see you're not going anywhere. So when you're working in the home, one of the biggest things is you're working in great numbers and you're putting in a small amount of time. Many of you don't have a lot of time. Nobody does. So you want to work in great numbers, invest a little bit of time to make the greatest things happen. This is how you do it, work in numbers. The other thing is, I think people feel comfortable in the homes. A lot of you have the opposite mindset on that. You think, oh, if I would host it at a conference center, more might come. I think the opposite. People are comfortable in your home. They can dress as they want to dress. They can sit on, around the kitchen table, on the couch. So help people to know their relationship building. This has been huge, not just for the people that are coming as guests, but for you as owners in this company. You are building camaraderie, rapport, relationships every time you're together in the home. So that's a big one. High touch and high tech. Isn't that what we say we are as a company? So where do we get the high touch part? In the home. This is where we're showing people, like Dawn and Joan were saying, you have to show that person you have concern, sincerely care for them, so they feel that high touch, but you've got the high tech to back it. It's a duplicatable system. You show them the website, you get them on the website, you've got the technology to back it, you show them the advisor, you show them Shop Buddy. So you're showing them, we're concerned about you, but we've got the technology to back it, and now the reorders come through the computer. And it's fun. This is what's come back for us. If you guys are seeing us grow, this is why. Because it's fun when you're together. Don't make this such a big deal. Some of you think this has to be some big formal event. I don't care if you get a few people over, you sit around the kitchen table and enjoy each other's company. Topics will come up. It doesn't have to be formal. Do what you can do with what you know at this time, and it will start to grow. Teamwork is another big part of it. You have to learn to work as teams and support each other. Keizu, you're phenomenal with this. You have brought this back to the table. People get it. When somebody's holding a home event, the reason we post it is because we want to give you all an opportunity to plug into that event, but more importantly, we want to show you that we have to support each other. If somebody's hosting an event, by all means, go and support that new owner. Show up. And I'll tell you what, you show up enough without a guest, you will start showing up with a guest because it'll drive you crazy that you came without a guest. And I think what happens at these events is magic because you start to feel excitement and enthusiasm. The other night, and I'll show you guys a bunch of pictures, but we had just this amazing turnout again. Friday night, we had 2 events going on, and we're double and tripling in events a night now, home events. And that again, it comes because we have great leaders who are now duplicating this throughout. But when we bring people together like that, I really feel like even for the new owner, it becomes believable now because they're seeing people together at these events and they're realizing, holy cow, I don't care if it's 3 people or 13 people, it's happening. People are actually getting guests to show up. Now they believe that they can also have guests show up. Now there's a lot of different types of home events. It doesn't, again, need to be anything set in stone, but there are great resources out there like GoNowResource.com that will show you specifically if you're the kind of person that's very detailed and you want it very formal and very, very structured, it's there. But if you're the kind of person that just wants to build we had a girls' talk event. We did. We had girls. In fact, when I advertised it on Facebook, I was like, so we're having a girls' talk, and it might have a little bit to do with sex, or maybe even some sex talk. So, it's just funny. It's just having people over. But we had wine tasting, sat around the kitchen table. We're tasting different wines. And what did we have in the middle of the table? Oh, Tony did the business briefing the other night. He did the intro. Here's Tony, my husband, stands up there and he goes, if there was 95% of you who wouldn't make it home tonight, who would be booking a room with me here tonight? I'm like, I would. And he's like, well, my wife raises her hand. And then he gets to the anti-aging line and he goes, so we've got libido products. And he kind of stands there for a moment. I'm like, okay, so he wants me to stay at the hotel and he wants me taking the libido products. but you guys, you have to make it so much fun. PMS, menopause, moods, weight gain, libido, fun stuff. Don't make it so formal so that people see it can be anything that you're comfortable with. I think, though, if you look at the main topics, wellness, skincare, cosmetics, now the shopping annuity, you could totally have shopping annuity parties now. Just make it fun, you guys. Now, you saw that Jim pointed out this morning, and this is huge. We do something called a grand opening for every new owner. And Jim, when you talked about it, that's exactly the format we follow, is how you get there. And I think it's nice if you have a couple of people that are involved, because Tony usually sits at the computer and he's punching things in while I'm talking through exclusive product lines. So here's how we do it. Keizu is my new owner. Please, everybody, I thank you for coming. Please, support Kay tonight by shopping through her site, whatever it is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show her name is on that website. I want them to see what she has. Now, you have to be thinking always from the point of the view of this person sitting in the chair. People who are invited to these events, they're totally confused. When you just jump up and you start showing shop.com, they don't even know this person is a shop.com owner. I've had people say, okay, what does shop.com have to do with my friend? You have to take a step back and think, I have to introduce this. Shop.com, 50 million products and services. We have 15 exclusive divisions, including Modus Cosmetics, which Kay specializes, TLS Weight Loss Solutions with so-and-so. Give them some sort of background and a vision of who we are as a company, and then say, but we have all of that and then some. And then we might show a little bit of the portal at that point. Then we go to the exclusive products, and you have somebody who maybe specializes in wellness, somebody who specializes in cosmetics. Let the team share in introducing the lines, but share like daily essentials, digestive health, some of the cosmetics. Share those things, and then say, now everything we just talked through, let's bring it right back to the shop.com site where we started and show you how you can get those things. What's cool is we're subliminally teaching them because Tony's pulling up the daily essentials kit while I'm talking about it. So they're seeing all you have to do is punch it in. And it's coming up on Kay's site. So we're kind of doing 2 things at once the whole time, but we do it in 45 minutes or less because people don't want to be sitting there forever being presented to, and then open it up for questions and have beverages and snacks and things like that. Keep it simple, keep it duplicatable no matter what you do. Don't make it so big and so grand. The guests there don't think they could ever do what you just did. Keep it simple, okay? Now, this would be an example of inviting somebody to your home. And I put up here a few different selections. So it might be that I would call up Joan and say, hey, Joan, I only have a second. I'm wondering what you've got going on next week, Thursday or Saturday. I always give 2 options no matter what I'm doing, anything in this business. 2 options. It's called a tie down. Once she says, well, Thursday we're booked, but Saturday I don't really have anything going on, I have her. Right? But if I would just say, what do you have going on next Saturday? Oh, and now you start to play this cat and mouse game, where is she just blowing me off, or does she really, does she really have interest in what I'm doing? Give her two options so you can immediately tie it down. For new people, this is key. From there, I'm going to say, great, Saturday's open, fantastic. I'd love to have you over because I opened a new business. I'm not sure if you knew that, but I'm going to be showing you how to create a shopping annuity through my social commerce site, which is our new terminology, social commerce. B, showing you how to improve your health concerns you've expressed to me. C, showing you how to save money and earn money on what you're currently spending, show you how to get something back on that. Or D, showing you a hot cosmetic line called Locus Cosmetics. Have you heard of it? So whatever it is, because your grand opening can be very focused around you. If you're working in the health professional field, you may want it to be that your grand opening is all about wellness. That's totally great. I'm great with whatever it is, as long as it's a home event, guys. That's what's important. And I think this will probably be available also on the landing page. Is there anything, Joan, that you can think of that would prevent you from coming? No, great. I would love to have you come. I know you're going to enjoy this very much. So you're confirming that. Now, I think this is important too. Make sure that you, guys, so many of you think that things that are old school are old school and you shouldn't use them. I disagree. I believe when I get something in the mail still, a paper invite, a paper thank you, it means more to me. You could send me all the Facebook thank yous and invites in the world. Something coming to my mail, you spent some money to send it to me, you took the time, it's going to mean something to me. So if you really want to get a good turnout, you call them, you send them something, and you confirm them 2 days before. Let them know this is your procedure. It's your system. Okay, great. Joan, I'm going to send you something in the mail so you have a reminder, and then I'll call you a couple days before just to confirm that you're going to be there. Because I want to make sure I have enough samples and enough handouts and enough support materials for the people there. Give them an incentive. Joan, we're going to have some snacks and some beverages. We'll make sure that they're healthy for you because I know that's your lifestyle. And I'll tell you what, for every friend you bring, you get a free gift. What are free gifts? Awake, daily essentials packets, mocha tonics packets, digestive enzyme packets. Inexpensive little things, but they're getting a gift. Isotonics cups. Cheer them on when they place their orders, guys. Let them know, hey, June just ordered her first daily essentials kit. Woohoo! And she gets her cup. Okay, so, and then make sure and confirm with them. Guys, this is being a professional. So many of you are afraid of the no. Like, you don't call because you think, maybe if I don't call, maybe they'll actually show up. No, they won't. A maybe's a no. A maybe is a no. So it's either a yes or a no, and either is great. But then you know what to expect. And more importantly, your senior partners who are coming in to work for you know what to expect. Okay, so when we walk through the door. This is just an example of one that was thrown together by somebody. You want to have a paper something. I say don't make it wordy, don't have a lot of text. All it is a reminder, guys. It could just be save the date. You can just save the date, This is what I called you about the other day. All right, this is another piece that I think that has helped our team be very successful in this area is every week I post what's up and coming. And I think it's important to do this. You need to have images with it. If it's just text, your people are going to overlook it. But I always put a catchy image, something, for my team, for my organization. But workshops, home events, wellness events, grand openings, courings, whatever it is, I list it. You can see this is a real live one that's coming up still. We've got some of those dates are still in there. But these are all the things that we currently have in place. We have something every night. I'm not at every single thing, but I am always doing something. There might be double or triple, and Tony and I either, we'll go to different places or we can only do so much, but that's good, right, Jim? Because now I'm empowering people to take over. See, I was having this issue where it's like I couldn't be everywhere all the time. And I was honestly overbooking myself to the point where I thought, how will I possibly get to be in two places at one time? How could that happen tonight? And I will try and make it happen. I mean, it's ridiculous. So empowering your people. Make it flashy, make it fun. Now, guys, these are our own private closed business groups I'm posting these on. Grand opening, Brian and Anita are hosting the grand opening, or, you get a free gift if you bring a friend, or, the shopping annuity. Let's teach you how to, get some money back on what you guys are spending. You're spending it anyway. So make sure and include images if you really want to attract people. Do the same thing when you invite people. So let's go through some fun pictures. So it really comes down to this. When you do the work that you do, home events, one-on-ones, UVPs, all the work that you put into building this business, it's about partnerships. It's about new people getting on board, and those new people being successful. So make it big and make it fun. But, I cannot tell you in the last year, it's got to be 150 new partners. In the last year, the amazing people that have come aboard this team, and they just keep building, and they're forming friendships and rapport, and there's camaraderie because we're together a lot. We're building together. And that's what we used to do. Yeah, exactly. This was an event just the other night. We actually had 15 guests show up. This was a Friday night. So Tone's over in Green Bay doing one event with those guys, Matt, Joanne, and Nita and Brian. And I'm over in the Kokona area with David Weiser and Caitlin Schufs, and we're doing another event. And I couldn't believe it, David. A Friday night, and the house, it was just packed. It was this big community room. The better part was people were so interested and so well receiving. And then we're having computer problems that it just didn't have that great. We had people lining up, getting ready to get their profile. We call it setting your profile. I don't call it registering customer. I say set your profile. It's very non-invasive. So we're going to set your profile up tonight. Your cashback account's going to be open. Those of you ready to order, we'll put that through immediately. You will get 10% off because we use the 10 off MA code for you tonight. That is a temporary code.
That was really good.
From the beginning, Jim, start over.
The whole presentation. No, just the last part you said.
This last part. So with the people that were there, we had people that were actually lining up to get their profile set, so their cashback account was open, and then ready to place my order right now. Let's just place it right now. I get that 10 off MA, right? Make it exciting so they would place their order.
Explain the 10 off MA.
Oh, yes, yes. So for those of you who don't know this, we each have the ability to activate a coupon code in our back office. So you go to unfranchise.com, customers, coupon administration, activate. Coupon administration, activate. And now it's active. You have the choice to turn that on and off as you choose, but I always run it with urgency. You're here tonight, we want to thank you. You're going to get a special promo code. And we had people lining up, and then we would cheer them on as they placed their orders, give them their isotonics cup, and it was contagious. I really think if we wouldn't have had computer problems, we'd have gotten more through. It was just weird. It was taking a little bit because of the limited access.
Where can they get their isotonics cups?
Their isotonics cups through promotional items under ordering services. Ordering services, promotional items, isotonics cups. Okay, right in your back office. Everybody should have those. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's another thing. Thank you. When you do a grand opening or any type of home event, you are the professional. I mean, there are certain things for preparedness, right? And when you're prepared, things go well. Make sure you have catalogs. Make sure you have isotonics cups. Make sure you have samples for free gifts. Make sure you're coaching your new people on these things. They need to know. They don't know otherwise. Sometimes we just assume, like, isn't that common sense? Not for the new person. And don't you want them to have a good experience when they start? They're going to feel foolish otherwise, so prepare them. And I do actually have things that I use. I send them off. This is your grand opening sort of checklist. This is how to prepare for a wellness event kind of things. So those are some events. This was another one. I want you to see the importance that I don't care if there's 3 people, 4 people. I don't care if 1 person shows up. I'll sit down at the kitchen table and talk to them. Don't we grow by 1s and 2s? Why do we think we have to have 25 people show up for it to be worth it? I think because we hear great leaders say that, and all of a sudden we think we're not great if we don't have that. And that's not the truth. Great leaders, I can promise you, Jim and Lisa have gone in to do events where 1 person shows up or no people show up, right? And yeah, I would feel very foolish if that happened, but they understand it does happen. But do your best to book people. But this was another, great event. It was a grand opening that we were doing, specializing in wellness again. This was Anita. I love showing these because these are all some of the great new people that we have in our organization that are getting up there and they're starting to lead, guys. They're starting to lead and do it. And I'm excited about that. Sue Marks, they don't make them like her. She's ridiculous. She is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think I've ever met anybody quite like Sue. She is so cool. Her and her husband, they have this graphics company. I've had it for 30 years. That woman has come to life with this company, just come to life. So we met her in a networking group, a business networking group. This was one that we did last December with Christy. We were setting up and doing health and wellness events, and we had them scheduled out for months in advance. And we would come in, and every time we did one a month, I think, Christy, and every time it was a different topic. Gosh, was that fun? We'd have great turnouts for this, but we would promote it. So that was obviously a TLS one that we were doing. Here's Kathy. We were over in the Eau Claire, Sparta area at this one. And again, we're packed in there. It was just amazing. People come to these events to enjoy themselves and have fun. So you have to make sure it's fun when you're inviting them. This was one where we actually got together as a group. This was a coring, and I wanted to put this in there so I wouldn't forget. If you have not done this with your group, do it. We all got together. Here was the key. I pulled together this corn. And again, I'm almost always the presenter, the one that, that's all right. And it was, I cannot possibly hit National Supervising Coordinator if I think I'm the only one that can present or do everything. So I needed, right? So I needed to learn how to empower people. So what I did is I picked like 11 people in our organization and I assigned them topics. But you know what the topics were? They're products that a lot of you don't even know exist in our BD product line. So pet health, some of the anti-aging stuff, some of the Lumiere to V. I said, I want you to sell me on this product. I want you to stand in front of the room and tell me the benefits to the point that I want to buy this product. Do you know how much we increased our BD walking out of there that night? The people who presented said, thank you. We were scared to death when you gave this to us, but we're so thankful. Not only did we learn a new product, we now order that product, we now share that product with our new people. We need to get back to BD products, guys. That's the big money. So I say you can create a small annuity or a large annuity. Who would rather have large, right? Right. Right. Oh. And I'm sure Anna Tennyson appreciates, but why I put this in here? I put this in here not only because Becky is a total rock star. This is Sue Mark's daughter, Becky. And she has like 50 million pictures of us because we've been there doing so many events. And she is absolutely the light of our life when we go there. What I wanted to show you, look at the lady in the background. She's a guest. Do you think she's having fun? We're having so much fun. And that's why I'm saying home events become a lot of fun. It's your enthusiasm that sells it. So if you walk in like a stick in the mud or a rat died in your mouth, so will all of your guests feel that way. You have to be the light in the life of that party sometimes, and I don't have a problem with that usually. I have this ridiculous energy. I don't even get it myself, but I think it's just this excitement that lives within me because, what's that? It's totally the supplement. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the supplements. You can't be 90 years old and look like this. But seriously, what it is, guys, is that I have come to a point in my life. If you've not read the book, The Go-Giver, read it. I have come to a new point in my life. I am so about loving, giving, and serving, and loving, and giving, and serving. And if you can get that mindset, there has to be a receiver every time there is a giver. You will have your opportunity to be the receiver. Just until then, you give, and you give, and you give, because there's no way that cannot come back full circle. So quit worrying about what's in it for you and start worrying about what's in it for them. And if you live your life that way, and I think that's the energy and enthusiasm you're starting to see through us, and it's becoming contagious throughout our organization. So this was an excellent one. Little Anna Tennyson always there in the middle of everything. I don't know, she just tries to look important all the time. But this was another one the other night. There was at least 6 guests, maybe 8 guests. People kept coming in. Again, a ton of excitement. This was our first attempt at actually doing a shopping annuity. So we were talking shopping annuity that night. We had a packed house. So, my goodness, you guys, you just can't go wrong. You just keep doing them and doing them. How many people, see the lady in the middle, Val? How many people saw that video that I showed where she has debilitating MS and she got up and walked that night? Who saw that? That went totally digital. I'll have this
Put that on Do Something.
I will totally put that on Do Something, so you guys have to see that. None of that was planned, by the way. She hosted a Moda's event that night. We had a blast. That's her in the middle. Val came on board. I'm going to tell you guys, the first time I met her, she came to a local seminar, and I don't mean this in any way to offend Val. She could not speak very well. Her speech was very slurred and very slow, and I thought she had a cognitive disability. I wasn't sure what was up. I knew she had MS. We went to do this event, and I kid you not. Now, I had only talked to her a couple times in between there. All of a sudden, she starts talking OPC3, oligomeric cyanidins. Now, why do you want to use that? And I'm like, who is that? Who is that person that's speaking right now? This was just a few months down the road. That night, she went out to go to the bathroom, and she was coming back in. She goes, all right, Chele, do you want a testimony? And I said, yeah, I do. She goes, okay, watch this. She parked her wheelchair, and she stood up, and she, a little bit, and then she started walking. This got a ton of views on Facebook. She walked to the front of the room, then she turned around and walked backwards. She's like, look at me. And she goes, and I can squat. And she did a couple squats. It was the coolest thing. I was crying. I was just crying because it was not planned at all. I didn't even know she could do this. Does that make you feel a little good inside? Oh my gosh, why would you not want more of that for people? So that was exciting. This is my niece, Jamie. She just hit executive coordinator after 10 years. Oh, some of you think 10 years. Here's the cool part of that. Jamie joined me in business when she was 18, started coming to local seminars when she was 14, fell in love with the motives line. She dabbled in it a little bit, grew up, went to school, ended up having 2 kids, opened her own Medi Spa, and just like that, flew through the pay cycle. You know the brilliance in that? An entire organization was already built. But now she's building her other, and she's more excited than ever. She's 28 years old. Do you think she cares? She's only 28. You guys, she's flying through the products now, the BB products, and through the pay cycle. I love that girl. But it's so fun to see. Friday, she officially got that check, and she said, happiest day of my life so far. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Here was another one. Tony was trying to look really smart there.
That was like the Rocky
He's always looking sexy, but holy cow. By the way, you guys have to know, he's going to be the greatest TLS testimony ever. Tony was not a healthy eater, and that's just the way it was. And it just, all these years of me doing TLS, teaching TLS, Tony was just not really on board with me. He supported me. But all of a sudden, 3 weeks ago, we decided to do a detox together, a 5-day detox, went right into a healthy lifestyle. Tony and I both are down 9 pounds. He didn't do his body fat, but I'm down 2.5% body fat and 9 pounds. Both of us in 3 weeks. How cool is that? So, Tony thinks he wants to lose like 25 more pounds, but I don't want to be married to like a little boy. So I told him, I like him looking young and sexy. That's all great, but I don't want a little boy. This was another. This was another really cool event. This is Tina Wonke. She's a wellness specialist, and she just brought on a health professional, Dr. Terry, over in Menasha. They opened up a brand new wellness clinic, and this was their first grand opening kickoff event. So it's just event after event after event. David Beiser and Kip Miller getting together with a bunch of health professionals over in Green Bay. Event after event after event after event after event. That's what leads into numbers at your UBPs. Our UBPs have been super consistent, super consistent. I'm so proud of our area, I cannot tell you. But packed houses, every UBP. But it's because we're building in the homes, and that's leading into the UBPs. I did a coring with my group, but I did a coring with my council as well to find out what they were doing. And this is what's really waking our area up. From the UBPs, you're building into the local seminars. The local seminars is where the magic happens, because now we've got a speaker coming in, and people are really starting to learn effectively how to build their business, how to take it to the next level. Super cool group. Show the tickets, because that means you're growing. Bringing in Pam Torgerson, bringing in Dr. Stan Pierce, February 21st, March 21st. We sold out both events, guys. We sell everything out as fast as it can be, because there's always urgency, and people are looking to build. They're getting it. And that leads into our regional, which is coming up here already in April. We have the best people speaking there. Jim Winkler, Andrew Weissman, doesn't get any better than that. And then we're going to have a lot of other corporate leaders and local people that will be sharing in that experience that weekend. But these are things we don't question. If you're building in the home and you want success with your group, you don't question UBPs. You don't question local seminars. You don't question your regional events. And you certainly don't question your big international world conferences. This is what we do. Look at those crazy people. That's part of my goodness. And I'm right there with them, which makes it 10 times worse. But I love these guys, and I've built relationships with them, and I want them to be my friends for life. Not just business partner, but my friend. And that all starts in the homes, guys. So with that being said, I wanted to just let you know, Jim Winkler is coming back up.
Wait to see how quick you'd be on your feet covering that. But Todd, did I turn mine on or not? I'm good? Okay, you can hear me. All right, real quick. This is just something. This is available on the sheet we were talking about, or on the website with Tom. But this is something Lisa and I put together that we send to somebody when we're doing a home presentation. So more of a home business than but you could obviously alter it towards wellness. And real quickly, it just tells we send it as an email. It says to the person initially inviting to the home presentation. Over invite. Best way to invite is by phone. We give an example. Put the event on the private Facebook group and make sure to confirm the event the day before. Why do we have an email we send to somebody holding an event for the first time? How many of you have held an event and have no clue really what to do the first time? Okay. Here's the funny, we'll send it and still a lot of people won't read it.
Yeah.
We do check this, by the way. So we do, but here it's telling them how to invite, what to do. Then the event, we make sure the presenter has a list. So if I'm doing an event for John, I want John to send me a list of who's coming and a little bit of a bio on each person. Why? So I know who I'm talking to a little bit.
Sometimes you can tailor it a little bit.
You can tailor that presentation a little bit to somebody who might be there. It talks about the room setup, having a table, a registration sheet, less chairs than you think you need. Make sure you have the daily essentials. Kids, a lot of things Chele just touched on, I'm sending them in an email because I just want to make sure they have it. Okay, I'll try to cover it if they don't, but try to make sure they have it. And then the presentation, start on time. Host is going to thank everyone. So I've got that bolded because I want the person hosting to know they're going to stand up and speak a little bit and say thank you for coming. Then it goes down and talks about how we're going to do things and how what to do if someone cancels. Because does that ever happen where someone cancels or says no? What do we book into? So again, I don't want that new person to miss or lose the opportunity to book more appointments and to schedule more items with it. So then we just have what is the follow-up, and then it says have fun. But it's a simple email that'll be available on that site. You can send out. It really just puts in an email what Chele just covered so the new person for sure has some good ideas how to do it. Doesn't have to be 100% structured, but it does. We do need to make sure what? They need to have some samples. Have you ever walked into a place, or maybe some of you have done this, doing a home meeting where somebody had like 10 chairs out and they said they had 10 people coming? That means take 5 away as fast as possible because 5 people are not going to show up. So you have to, that's in there to teach them how to do that. But those are some of the things on going through a home presentation. That was a great presentation. Your group has grown like crazy. And for those of you who didn't catch something she said, I'm going to repeat it. She's empowering other people to do these presentations on their own. What did you say, Ton? Okay, can you go back by Ton? Okay. She's empowering people to do the presentations. If you are here today, could you do a presentation? Yeah. Years ago, to do a presentation, we had to have a whiteboard. No, and you had to memorize the whole presentation, or you had to carry in 2 bins of products to show what we had. Now, as long as you can download the UBP presentation or download the shopping annuity presentation or something, and you can read, you have to do those 2 things, you can probably at least talk a little bit about what's going on with your business, which means you have the ability to move 10 times faster. Because I do have to tell you, a lot of people would like to hear from you rather than someone else. It's the truth. My goal is to empower you. I don't want to do it. I would rather you do it. Now, are there times you want to bring in other people? Absolutely. But you want to be, if I always have to do it, if Chele always has to do it, if Lisa always has to do it, then you can never grow your business without us. And that means you're dependent on my timing. If my timing's not good, you're stuck. So when I started, my sponsor never showed the plan formation in a kickoff. He did one plan together like that after about a month in the business. That's all I ever had. So, I get tired of, my sponsor doesn't do this, or grow up. Okay? You know what? Your success is not based, mine isn't in the company. Bad move. Okay? But it's not based on it. We're here to help you, support you, do everything we can to get you there, but you still have to take responsibility, because if you don't take responsibility, you'll never get to where you want to get. Okay?